Welcome, everyone. Welcome to all the participants, and thank you for being with us today. I'm Caterina Marinetti, and I work as Scientific Project Manager for the NEWAVE Innovative Training Network. Today is the 5th appointment of the thematic seminar series as part of the NEWAVE Diffused conference, which started at the beginning of April and will be accompanying us until the end of this year with bi-weekly online webinars. The thematic seminars feature the NEWAVE early stage researchers that will guide us through the key water governance aspects that they have been investigating during the NEWAVE project. Today's seminar is an open invitation from Paula Zuluaga-Guerra to have a conversation around the decolonial feminist rereading of her research entitled Decolonising by Unmaking, a Co-Research Process. Together with Paula, we welcome fellow participants who wish to join the conversation: Alejandra, Jens, Meg, and Thais. And you, as participants, you are all invited to join the discussion. You can raise your hand, and then we will be enabling your audio and video so that you can also participate directly in the conversation. I also want to inform you that we will stop the recording after the first part of the seminar. I will now invite Gianpier Dell'Angelo, the NEWAVE coordinator, and Paula, co-supervisor, to introduce Paula and her work. Thank you so much, and enjoy the seminar.
Thank you, Caterina. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this seminar. I'm very happy to introduce Paula Zuluaga. She's a NEWAVE early stage researcher and a PhD candidate at the Vrije Universiteit of Amsterdam, and she's hosted by the Fundación Nueva Cultura del Agua in Murcia. Paula finds inspiration in the colonial feminist theorization. In particular, she looks at the work of Abya Yala. And the work of Paula aims to articulate alternative and disruptive water narratives to address complex socio-hydrological dynamics, specifically with a focus on gender, race, and identity formation. Moreover, she is a very creative scholar, also combining arts with investigation, and her research in Spain leverages her experience in participatory research processes that she conducted in Colombia. The doctoral research of Paula revolves around the collective co-production of knowledge across the Mar Menor lagoon and the Campo de Cartagena in Southeast Asia. So without further ado, I would like to now invite her to join the conversation.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Gianpier and Caterina, for introducing me and introducing this space. I will share my screen with you. Just sorry, give me a sec. Okay. Okay, so sorry about that. Just for situating a little bit my work within NEWAVE, I wanted to start by mentioning that the project that is sort of the material basis for this reflection, it's entitled From Participation to the Co-Production of Socio-Hydrological Knowledge, and you can find more details about the project in the NEWAVE website as well, and just because perhaps I won't go into all the details. So I wanted to welcome you all to this space, and also first of all, I would like to thank those of you who have generously shared your time for preparing, your thoughts, your feelings for preparing this space. And also all of you who have carved time out of your diaries to join this conversation. I am very happy to see you here. And it is a great joy for me to see how my invitation resonates with you. To initiate this conversation, I would like to situate and explain some practicality of the space. My wish for this conversation, for this space, is to open a conversation to create a side of questioning academic knowledge production and our roles and complicities therewith towards towards elucidation of what could be different. And so, sorry about that. As such, this space has not been crafted as a workshop in which decolonial feminisms become tools or instruments to improve research practices, but rather as a space for sharing the theoretical questions that have come to be from the embodiment of our research. The conversation opens with individual interventions in which I and my fellow conversers will share our thinking feelings around the decolonization of co-research practices. My hope is that this multivocality will prompt you to jump in so we can gradually grow this individual sharing to a larger conversation around the decolonization of knowledge. Please don't forget that only the current introduction that I am speaking into existence will be recorded. If anyone has any question, please let me know, or doubt about the space. I will try to guide you through it anyways, but I will, okay, so the co-research was inspired in the transformation laboratories model for reproducing knowledge. Together with the researcher Violeta Cabello, we invited 8 local actors to collectively reflect on the socio-ecological crisis of the Mar Menor. We didn't define a research goal, but 2 desiderata to orientate our work. The wish to challenge hegemonic narratives of crisis and the wish to temper the polarization inherent in those narratives. The co-research spanned over a year and consisted of a series of spaces for individual and collective reflection. During the last months of the co-research process, Violeta and I were joined by 4 co-researchers exploring to conduct a derivative research exploring the potentiality of visual language to create new instances of reflection in the Mar Menor. Throughout the co-research process, including the preparatory phase, we co-created a series of divulgation pieces in which we shared the main lessons from the co-research process, and a book containing the illustrations that were co-created in the last phase of the research of the project, which quite literally illustrations that I will literally use to take you on a trip in the Mar Menor now. So the Mar Menor is a coastal lagoon in the Mediterranean that has been suffering from a severe eutrophication for over a decade. Defined as the excessive growth of microalgae due to nutrients in the water column, the eutrophication is mainly the consequence of intensive irrigated agriculture in the drainage basin, and to a lesser extent of urban wastewater. The eutrophication of the Mar Menor is expressed in the ongoing deterioration of the lagoon, marked by an algal bloom in 2015 and 2 mass mortality events of biodiversity in the following years. Social conflicts traversing various forms of local territorialization is the co-implicant of this ecological deterioration, arising from a plane of narrativity structured by 2 opposing narratives of crisis, which animate decision-making processes and mechanisms with regards to water, and which in turn made our co-research and this very instance of unweaving to be concerned with water governance. The co-research was not conceived as a decolonial effort. In fact, it was originally pursued as a participatory modeling of a participatory modeling process of a pre-existent dynamic model of the Mar Menor. The colonial feminisms from Abya Yala became key to my work as I revisited interview and workshop transcripts and questioned the response and nature of my experiential engagement with the research, my co-researchers, my supervisors, the people I work with in the field, and the very idea of the Mar Menor. I progressively developed an awareness of the need to reread the crisis in the Mar Menor from the experience of the subaltern other. When I speak this term, the subaltern other, I visualize the production of an outside, which must be recuperated through pressurization, an outside which is internalized into hierarchical and vertical relations. Binarisms such as progress and barbarism, nature and culture, tourist and migrant, knowledge and myth, dynamize the creation of the boundaries between the outside and the inside. Following the rhythms and flows of the contemporary capitalist normality, these binarisms are far from static. They are continuously reshaped, for the subaltern other can never leave the outside of the boundary. For instance, think of the Mar Menor newly ascribed status as a legal person, which seems to destabilize the nature-culture binary by recognizing non-human ontology. But also think of persons in journeys of migratory disbelonging, who have made the Mar Menor their community of choice, but whose access to decision-making fora apropos the Mar Menor is blocked by institutional and informal mechanisms of exclusion. As indicated by the co-research, most of these mechanisms of exclusion are conspicuous, yet run unconsciously, for they have already been normalized into local association. More situatedly, the imperative to dominate water, nature, through engineering is still a core trait of territorial practices in Southeast Spain, tracks along a very problematic history of colonization, which hardens into a cultural ethnocentrism circumscribing the crisis. Individual and collective reflections within a space of public participation would only feature persons in journeys of migratory disbelonging in the negative, in their absence, so to speak. One would think that the sheer demographic recomposition of the Mar Menor and its labor force should shed light on these persons. But no, the oppressions, desires, and resistances of persons in journeys of migratory disbelonging remain outside the gauge field of sociological studies of the Mar Menor crisis, an attitude also reflected in the co-research. Noting this absence is not important because it might contribute to revisionary efforts towards doing better science, towards making larger, more accurate models, in turn expected to inform more accurate public policies. That is, models informing a measurable truth, the truth. Noting the absence of persons in journey of migratory disbelonging is an imperative of human recognition above all. This is at the center of our reflection. But with this recognition also lies the potential of the subaltern other to unsay ossify meanings, to delineate worlds of sense where the Mar Menor is no longer synonymous with crisis. But this recognition cannot be a mere statement of inclusion into pre-existent meanings. I propose it be an articulation of theoretical and practical dissidence against the colonial moments of knowledge co-production, of scientific production, of knowing in general. The decolonial feminisms of Abya Yala have made this possible for me. With them, I have attempted a decolonial unweaving of the co-research process and an analytical and effective rereading of the Mar Menor crisis. And now I leave you with a thread of this unweaving, which I hope we can collectively problematize later. Who gets to hold the knowledge producer badge? Is subject formation a precondition for becoming a knowledge producer? Who is a subject? subject? Who is an agent? Am I a racialized person socialized as a woman and whose community of place has been placed in the global south? A subject, an agent, a knower? And with this, I finish my intervention, and I will leave you to some of my, well, I think we will stop the recording, and I will leave you to the space for some of the other conversers to share their thoughts. Remember, it's important that this is a multivocal effort, so everyone will sound different.
Thank you so much, Paula. I will stop the recording now. Before to stop, I just want to remember the attendees that the next seminar was originally planned for the 3rd of July, but has been postponed to the 10th of July. So please check also our website to see more details about it. Yes, and then I'll stop it here and you can continue from there. Thanks.